Hello, good evening. Welcome to Titanic Tuesday. It's interesting um all the mystery and intrigue that is associated with the sinking of the Titanic. Um so many stories have been written, uh films, movies have been made. So many different tales of heroism, and just all types of stories that go with it. I have uh, a series that you probably have seen advertised on Facebook. It's the Titanic Letters, and that's what I have been bringing to you on the Tuesday Terrors on the Titanic. These letters come every 2 weeks, and I don't read them until now. So I read them for the first time along with everyone else that listens to this little podcast tour thing. Hello, Patricia Edwards. How are you? Welcome to Terror on the Titanic on Tuesday. Um, I'm kind of, I'm kind of just kind of talking a little bit of nonsense here until trying to fill in some time until we start. I have this scheduled for to begin at 11:40. I chose that time specifically because that is the time that the Titanic struck the iceberg, 11:40 in the evening. So I thought that would be a good time to present our Titanic stories. Unfortunately, or fortunately, it doesn't really matter, but not all of the platforms that this Titanic series is appearing on, not all the platforms can accommodate the time of 11:40. Some of the platforms, their times and their calendars are in increments of 15 minutes. So anyway, let's see what we have here. Who's talking to me? Hello, hello, everyone. It's hard for me to see your comments actually because my screen only has a little spot. I can see one comment at a time, basically. Let's see. So you guys, oh, good. Okay. So you guys can feel free to, you know, chat along. Okay. Um, yeah. So got 5 minutes to, before we can start. So, just a little stuff about me, the Bay Lady. I do virtual tours is how I started. Virtual tours around the Chesapeake Bay area of Maryland. Beautiful area. Oh boy, okay. Yeah, we get idiots on here too. Okay. Um it's a beautiful area and I love to share. So at any rate, let's see. Hi, the Titanic is really cool. Yeah. Um, I have been to several different Titanic exhibits, and they are quite impressive if you ever get the chance. There are some traveling exhibits, Titanic expos. There is currently one appearing in Baltimore at the Inner Harbor. It will be there until I believe the 30th of this month, and then it moves on to the next city. But it is well worth the trip. It's an amazing experience. They have incorporated visual reality into the production that they do, and they have it's just amazing. You actually get to go down and look at the wreckage of the Titanic. It's an awesome simulation for sure. Hello, hello, Donna and Rodney. Hi, how y'all doing? Good, I hope. So anyway, if you enjoy my podcast, please follow me on Facebook, Sharon Schultz, the Bay Lady. You can also subscribe to my YouTube channel, Sharon Schultz, the Bay Lady. And then you'll see when I have tours coming up and you'll get notified and all that good stuff. Okay. Okay. So at any rate, on my Facebook page and on my YouTube channel, you'll find links to various virtual tour websites that carry my tours. And you'll also find a link to buy me a coffee. That's what supports my tours. And I do love my coffee, so be sure to visit that site as well. Okay, so got a couple more minutes here before we start. I want to go over the characters that we have met so far. This is the third in a series of Titanic letters. We have, first of all, we have met Elsie Fairchild. This is Elsie. This is Elsie Fairchild. Photo. She was born in 1888 to prominent New York businessman Arthur Fairchild and his wife Eleanor. Elsie has lived a life steeped in privilege. From a young age, she was groomed for a life of advantageous marriage and social stewardship. However, her father's world of industry and her own sharp, inquisitive mind, further honed at Vassar College, instilled in her a restless spirit. She received a world-class education, becoming fluent in French and Italian, and developed a refined appreciation for literature and the arts. Elsie is known for her quiet intelligence and perceptive nature. She carries herself with an understated elegance, preferring the quiet of an art gallery to the bustle of a grand ball. At 23, Elise is returning to New York from a grand tour of Europe. She is engaged to the ambitious and handsome Liam Cunningham. Traveling alongside her is her trusty companion and confidant, Nora Flynn. Elise boards the Titanic not merely as a passenger, but as a woman caught between the expectations of her family, the complexities of her heart, and a future that is as vast and uncertain as the Atlantic itself. So Elsie is our main character, and she was the one who began the series with letters to her sister. We've also met Liam Cunningham. Liam Cunningham's letters we read on the second of the series. Liam Cunningham is the son of a proud Harland and Wolff shipwright. Liam grew up not in a grand house, but in the shadow of the Colossus Errol Gantry, where the thunder of riveting was his childhood lullaby. Unlike his father, who learned his trade on the yard floor, Liam's sharp mind for mathematics earned him a coveted scholarship to study naval architecture at Queen's University. He quickly distinguished himself and his reputation for meticulous, almost obsessive attention to detail earned him a position in the drawing offices under the legendary Thomas Andrews. His unwavering work ethic earned him a coveted position in the Harland and Wolff Guarantee Group, the elite 9-man team led by Mr. Andrews, tasked with ensuring every system on the Titanic performs flawlessly on her maiden voyage. To Liam, the ship is not just a job. It's the culmination of his life's ambition and a testament to the honor of his trade. The guiding star of Liam's life is his fiancée, the beautiful American socialite, Elise Fairchild. He boards the Titanic filled with hope. Tonight, we will meet Nora Flynn. Nora Flynn is the friend, servant, maid, confidant of Elise Fairchild. Nora Flynn is a young woman of sharp intelligence and quiet determination, whose pragmatic nature is a product of her upbringing in Cobh, Ireland. From a young age, she learned the value of hard work and the art of observation, developing a keen eye that sees through the published veneer of high society. A gifted seamstress taught by her mother, Nora harbors a deeply personal and ambitious dream to one day open a dress shop in New York, a testament to her skill and a means to bring her mother and younger siblings to a new life in America. Her life became entwined with Elise Fairchild's when Nora was hired to serve as a companion and personal maid to Elise. What began as a formal arrangement soon blossomed into a deep and abiding friendship that transcends the rigid class boundaries of the times. Nora has become much more than a maid. She is Elise's anchor, her closest confidant, and often her moral compass. While Nora is fiercely loyal and protective of Elise, she is unimpressed by the great wealth and moral ambiguity of the world Elise inhabits. And this is our Nora Flynn, very attractive woman. And Nora is where we begin tonight with a letter that was written on board the RMS Titanic, dated April 11th, 1912. Dearest Maeve, I don't know if a letter can even hold the things I've seen in the last day or the weight of the secrets I now carry. To say we were on a ship is like saying a cathedral is just a building. It is a floating city, a palace of such impossible size that I can scarcely believe it stays afloat. My own cabin, though small, is adjoined to Lady Elisa's magnificent suite, It is more luxurious than any room I have ever stayed in, with a proper bed, polished wood walls, and even an electric light. Still, it is a world away from her rooms with their private sitting area and fine marble. From her suite, you can see the endless gray blue of the Atlantic stretching out forever, and the ship moves through it with a steadiness you wouldn't believe. It is all so grand and strange, and I keep having to pinch myself to believe it's real. Today, Lady Elise and I took luncheon in the first class dining saloon, and Maeve, I have never in my life witnessed such a spectacle. The room is a great white hall, bigger than any ballroom I have ever imagined, reaching up 2 stories high to a magnificent carved ceiling. The walls are all done in this gleaming white wood, like the inside of a palace, and the light pours in through immense arched windows that look out onto the ocean. The tables are a sea of starch white linen and sparkling crystal, and the sound of 100 silver spoons and the low, confident murmur of the wealthy is a kind of music all its own. We were seated at a small table, just the two of us, and the stewards treat Lady Elise like she is a queen. The menu alone was a puzzle, filled with French words I could barely guess at. There were so many courses I lost count, each one a tiny, perfect picture on a plate. I felt 100 pairs of eyes on us, and I did my best to sit straight and remember all the lessons on etiquette Lady Elisa's mother drilled into us when we were girls. But my mind was buzzing, remembering what Lady Elise had told me last night after she returned from her drink with that man. The cold, hard truth of it sits like a stone in my stomach. The most remarkable thing happened during the meal. Captain Smith himself, the commander of this whole floating world, stopped by our table. He has a kind, weathered face and a gentle way about him, and he spoke to Lady Elise with a fatherly warmth that seemed to put her at ease. And with him was Mr. J. Bruce Ishmay, the great man from the White Star Line. He is a different sort entirely, all sharp angles and quick assessing eyes. He looks at the ship not with a sailor's love, but with the owner's pride, and he seemed far more interested in whether the service was prompt than in any pleasantries. It was a dizzying display of power, and it only made the secret heavier in my heart. What secret do we suppose? Okay. It is watching my lady that both thrills and worries me, Maeve. She has 2 men courting her on this ship, and they are as different as night and day. Liam Cunningham, the engineer, is a good man. You can see it in his eyes. He's serious and devoted, and when he looks at Elise, it is with a true and steady adoration. He sees all her goodness and her future, and I know he would build her a fine life and cherish her as she deserves. He is the sort of man Papa would have approved of, solid as the ground beneath your feet. But then there is Preston Beaumont. He is handsome, I'll give him that, with a charm that is as dazzling as it is dangerous. He is a man of great power and wealth. and he moves through these grand rooms as if they were built for him. When he is near, a different light comes into my lady's eyes, a kind of fever. A look passes between them when they think no one is watching. A current of secret understanding that fair frightens me. She is trying to be the captain of two different ships at once, and I fear a storm is coming that will force her to choose. Just yesterday, I saw something that chilled me to the bone. Mr. Beaumont was in the smoking room in a hushed but fierce conversation with that other gentleman, the steel baron, Sir Reginald Croft. They were not talking of pleasantries. Their faces were like stone, all hard lines and cold calculation, and they spoke of schedules and material shipments and acceptable margins. At one point, Mr. Beaumont glanced out the door, and his eyes met mine for a fraction of a second. Maeve, the look was not one of embarrassment of being overheard, but of cold dismissive appraisal, as if I were a piece of furniture. It was the look of a man who believes he is above all consequences. And then, as he turned away, I saw it, gleaming on his left hand, a wedding ring. I knew he was married, of course, from the gossip below decks, but to see it there, so brazenly worn while he chases my lady. My lady has a good heart, the best heart I know, but it is a romantic one, and I fear she does not see the true nature of the game Mr. Beaumont is playing. He is a man accustomed to conquest, not partnership. He sees her as another beautiful thing to possess, like this ship, or another contract to win. Mr. Cunningham, he sees her as the anchor of his whole world. I pray every night that she sees the difference before it is too late. For a choice like this is not just about a husband, but about the kind of woman she will become and the kind of truth she will live. With this new knowledge of his marriage, Maeve, the whole sordid affair feels even more dangerous, a betrayal a betrayal far beyond mere courtship. It is a strange feeling to live so close to all this luxury, knowing it is a world we can never truly enter. I walk these plush carpets and see the women in their jewels and fine silks. And I pass the stairways leading down to the third class, and I hear the sound of fiddles and laughter, and it feels more like home. These people, like us, are sailing toward a dream of a new life. These people in first class, I think most of them believe they have already arrived, that no rules apply to them. But if what Lady Elise told me about the ship is true, then the rules of the ocean will apply to us all. And I am terrified for her and for all the good people on the ship who have placed their trust in these powerful, reckless men. Please give everyone my love at home. Tell them I am well and that I am seeing wonders I never dreamed of. I will write again from Queenstown if I am able, but I must be very careful. Your loving sister, Nora Flynn. Okay, so that was Nora to her sister, Maeve. We have a second letter here. This is written on the RMS Titanic White Star Line letterhead. On board RMS Titanic, Captain Edward J. Smith, April 11th, 1912. Okay, the letter is from the captain, Edward J. Smith. The letter is addressed to Mr. P.A.S. Franklin, Vice President, White Star Line, New York office. Dear Mr. Franklin, as we conclude our first day of uninterrupted steaming across the Atlantic, I am writing to you with a preliminary report on the maiden voyage of the RMS Titanic. I have given the helm to Lightoller, and now my attention to my correspondence. I am exceptionally pleased to inform you that the vessel is, in all respects, exceeding even our most optimistic expectations. She is a true marvel of the shipbuilder's art, and you and the board should be immensely proud of what the White Star Line has accomplished. Our departure from Southampton, despite a minor incident with the SS New York, which was handled with commendable skill by the pilot and tug crews, was a resounding success. The stop in Cherbourg was managed with remarkable efficiency by our French counterparts, and the performances of the tenders, Normatic, and traffic in ferrying the first class passengers was flawless. We took on the last of the mails in Queenstown yesterday, and with a great and enthusiastic send off from the Irish coast. Since then, we have been blessed with clear skies and a remarkably calm sea. Earlier, I watched the second officer make a minor course correction, and to feel the sheer mass of the ship respond so instantly, a slight, almost imperceivable shift in her immense structure, is to know she has a spirit of her own. The ship handles not like a vessel of 46,000 tons, but with the grace and responsiveness of a much smaller vessel. The entire vessel operates as one enormous, intricate machine, a credit to the officers and crew who understand their duties with such precision. There is a great pride in commanding such men, and in knowing that every soul, from the Marconi operators listening for faint signals from across the globe to the stewards polishing the brass for tomorrow, is part of this great enterprise. It is a responsibility I have never taken lightly. From an engineering standpoint, she is magnificent. The new combination of reciprocating engines and the low pressure turbine is an unqualified triumph. The lack of vibration, even at speed, is a subject of constant favorable comment among the passengers, particularly those who have sailed on other, less advanced liners. It is a true sea change in passenger comfort, and I believe it will set the standard for all future vessels. Our daily run will be impressive, and I have no doubt we shall make a fine showing upon our arrival in New York. The entire ship, from the dynamos that power our thousands of lights to the galleys that produce thousands of meals, it is operating with the precision of a fine watch. Socially, the voyage is already a landmark success. The passenger list, as you know, is a testament to the ship's prestige. To have Colonel Oster, Mr. Guggenheim, the Strausses, and so many other titans of industry and society choose our vessel for their crossing is the greatest endorsement one could ask for. They seem quite pleased. I have made it a point to walk the decks, and the admiration for the ship's appointments is universal. The new additions, such as the Café Parisien and the Squash Court, are proving to be exceptionally popular. The general atmosphere is one of contentment and deep security. Our chairman, Mr. Ishmay, is, of course, aboard and is taking a keen and active interest in all aspects of the ship's performance. He is quite pleased with our daily runs thus far and is quite rightly proud of this vehicle's capabilities. There is a palpable desire, which I share, to demonstrate the full potential of this magnificent ship on her maiden voyage, and to ensure she is recognized as the new queen of the Atlantic. On the navigational front, all is proceeding as expected. We are making excellent time along the outward southern track. The Marconi operators have been receiving signals from other vessels, as is routine. We have had messages from the Caronia and later the Baltic today, reporting the presence of sea ice and growlers, but the coordinates are well to the north of our current position. I have consulted the charts with my officers, and we anticipate we will be well south of this reported ice field. This is, of course, entirely normal for a spring crossing in the North Atlantic. I have given instructions for the watch to be particularly vigilant as we proceed, but the conditions pose no threat to a vehicle of this size and strength. Sometimes, on a calm night like this, my mind drifts back 40 years to my first command, a clipper of barely 1,000 tons. I remember one particular storm off the coast of Chile, battling monstrous waves for 2 days straight, the entire ship groaning, every timber straining, the sea determined to claim us. We survived through sheer will and seamanship. To stand now upon the bridge of this 46,000-ton marvel, so vast and steady she barely seems to notice the ocean beneath her, feels like living in a different century altogether. Titanic inspires a sense of absolute confidence, not only in her crew, but in her passengers. I was observing them on the deck earlier today and was struck by the sight of Miss Elise Fairchild, the American beauty, with her fiance, the young engineer from Harlan and Wolff, Mr. Liam Cunningham. They are a fine example of the best of both worlds, Belfast's industry and America's grace. They, like so many others aboard, represent the very future the ship is meant to serve. In closing, please be assured that the ship is performing flawlessly, the crew is exemplary, and the passengers are in high spirits. I anticipate a swift and entirely uneventful crossing and look forward to presenting this magnificent vessel to New York next week. Yours respectfully, Edward J. Smith, Captain Edward J. Smith, RMS Titanic. All right, there you have it. We have a fine running ship so far. Yes, indeed. So, next installment, next Tuesday, we'll see who the next letter is from. And as the plot thickens, maybe we'll learn a little bit more about this illicit love triangle going on here on the Titanic. And we'll learn more about the ship itself. So tune in next Tuesday. I will have it. I will have the link posted for you to enjoy the next series in the Titanic letters, and I will see you then. Don't forget, follow me on Facebook, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and please don't forget, buy me a coffee. Good night. Thanks. Bye.